Whoa, the wind. My goodness. Woo! Dang. So hungry. So hungry. Apa kabar sayangs? Welcome back to my channel. As the title says, yes, I'll be sharing with you guys how we found out we're pregnant. I'm currently 28 weeks and I had just entered my 3rd trimester, and man, it has been quite a journey. It feels like time passes by really, really fast, but at the same time, I also feel physically like I've been pregnant for a very long time. Get what I mean? Just a disclaimer, there will be some graphic photos in this video. To me, it's pretty mild, and maybe to some of you girls out there, you've seen it since puberty, but if you're a guy, you've been warned. So you have been warned. Watch this video at your own discretion, okay? So it all started mid-December last year. I had severe cramps, heart palpitations, bloating the entire week, and my period was approaching. So a bit of context, Daryl and I, we had our miscarriage in June 2022, and we have been trying ever since. So about half a year already, and I was dreading that feeling because the symptoms were so PMS-like. I came home from a close friend's birthday party, and it was on the 18th of December, and that night I discovered some spotting on my panty liner, and it was fresh blood. I was feeling super frustrated already. I remember that night I was texting my sister, just ranting to her how frustrated and sad I was feeling, because that meant we had to wait and try again the following month. The next day, I was fully prepared for Aunt Flo to visit, but she never turned up. Instead, I had faint brown spotting throughout the entire day, and I've never actually experienced implantation bleeding before in my last 2 pregnancies, so this was a very new experience for me. But I've read up about it. It could be pink, it could be brown, so I was actually really confused because I wasn't sure if I'm pregnant or is my period coming. I asked Daryl if I was completely crazy to take a pregnancy test before my missed period, which was in 2 days time anyway. He said, you know what, if it's gonna give you a peace of mind, just get it done. So on the 19th of December, I took a pregnancy test. In this video, I took the pregnancy test and I thought it was negative, but 10 minutes later, oh my god.
Wait. Which line?
I was fully expecting a negative. This is confusing. I've been drinking a lot of water though.
What does it mean?
It means probably it's very diluted. We couldn't believe our eyes. We thought the test was inaccurate because it was my night pee, and we took it at 11 p.m. And as you can see, the line was pretty faint. So we waited until the next morning to take another test because, you know, your morning pee is supposed to be the most potent pee of all time. But the results still came out pretty faint. The line was still pretty faint, and I was spotting. I was still spotting. I texted my gynae's clinic immediately because I was feeling a bit paranoid due to my last 2 miscarriages. And she asked, Charis, are you pregnant? And I was like, I think so. I'm not sure. She told me to keep calm, observe the spotting, and she scheduled me in to see my gynae immediately the next day. So on the 21st of December, the day when my period was supposed to come, Daryl and I, we took another pregnancy test. Although we were happy, but I think at that moment we tried not to get our hopes up because our past experience have taught us to prepare for anything, you know, because anything can happen during pregnancies, especially during early stages. However, a part of me also remembered that throughout December, I've seen signs that I believe was God speaking to me. I saw a double rainbow on the way to an event, and I also saw a rainbow sticker on a chair randomly on the night when my spotting occurred. Although easier said than done, Daryl and I, we told ourselves to just trust God and His promises, as well as letting Him take the wheel far above beyond our past experiences, our past traumas, and also beyond what we know. After taking the test, I saw my gynae on the same day. I did a scan, but I think I was only about 3 to 4 weeks pregnant, so there wasn't much to see. But my gynae was very, very proactive. Due to my history of 2 miscarriages, he asked if he could give me a progesterone shot on my butt. And of course, I agreed because I trusted him fully and he's the professional, right? And after that, I also took a blood test to check my HCG levels, and he also prescribed Dufaston twice a day. I went home and my gynae called me later on that day. He says that the blood test does indicate that I'm pregnant, but there's a huge but. My HCG levels were considered very low. It's usually not a good sign if your HCG levels are low, because there's a risk that the pregnancy is not viable. He told me to come in again that weekend itself on Christmas Eve to take another blood test, and hopefully my HCG levels would have increased by then. Seriously, the anxiety we felt was quite intense after taking the blood test on Christmas Eve, no less. But thank God it jumped from 850 to 2,700, I think, which was the safe zone. So knowing that this pregnancy was starting off on a positive note was definitely the best Christmas present of all time. This time we decided to keep the good news to ourselves first throughout the first trimester. It was very, very difficult, but we just didn't want to disappoint anybody based on our last 2 miscarriages, so we told ourselves to just be positive. We went on to celebrate Christmas, New Year's with our loved ones, family and friends, and we continued to pray for our baby's health and well-being every single day. Our 6 weeks checkup came. We were very nervous about it. During that checkup, we were so over the moon because we could hear and see Triple B's heartbeat. It was measuring well based on its gestational age, even though it was early days. So we were very, very thankful for that. But of course, in true Charis and Daryl fashion, life just throws us another curveball, and we were not completely out of the woods yet. We discovered that there was another problem: internal bleeding around my womb. And because of that, my gynae decided to give me another progesterone shot on my butt to stabilize the pregnancy. But I feel like those decisions that he made really, really made a difference in this pregnancy. I was still on Dufaston twice a day throughout the first trimester because the internal bleeding actually lasted the entire first trimester. I had different bleeding sites every single checkup, and that gave us a lot of anxiety, and I had trouble sleeping every night before a checkup because I was worried that this pregnancy may end up in another miscarriage. What's the cause of internal bleeding during a pregnancy? The answer is low progesterone levels. It's something that us women, we cannot control because it's what the body produces naturally, but we can manage it with progesterone shots or progesterone pills, or both, like in my case. Some ladies may need the shots on a weekly basis, but some ladies need it daily, so it varies according to individuals. But praise God, in my case, the internal bleeding actually stopped right before I reached my second trimester. Everybody's pregnancy journey is unique, and each pregnancy may present its own set of challenges, ups and downs, but I really, really do hope those who are struggling out there, you will find the strength to go through it, to find the light at the end of the tunnel. I think Daryl and I, we felt the most relieved was when we had our NICC result and when we had our 20 weeks detailed scan. We're happy that all the test results came out normal and that we are on the low risk side of things. We could also see the baby's organs were all developing well. Our TTC journey has been quite a roller coaster ride. As we prepare ourselves to be parents, we're very, very thankful that God's hands and protection are upon us. It's quite surreal to think that we're gonna have this baby earthside in less than 3 months' time. Wow! I'm very happy but very nervous at the same time. I guess you can never be 100% ready for a baby. I don't know, even though we've been trying for 2 years now, I think that feeling will always be there. Anyway, thank you so much to those who have been rooting for us since the beginning. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Please do keep us in your prayers that the pregnancy and the labor will go on smoothly. We love you guys and we hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in our next one. Bye sayangs! Oh, it's kicking. Ah, hi! Yes, you are coming out in less than 3 months' time.